Hey guys, it's me T coming at you with a video. What was I gonna say? All right, yeah, I feel like this is a really good, comfortable spot for me to be in. Also really good feng shui and kind of give me the vibes that I need, that I naturally just need in order for empowerment. Let me just fix myself. Sorry. I had to fix a whole lot before coming on here, and I'm like, let me just regulate. You know what I'm saying? All right, so I'm excited because we're in a new spot. I think this is going to be the spot that I end up doing my lives in because I like it. It has good, good energy. That's what just came to me. Amen. Good energy, good lighting, good kind of, I don't know, background is fine. It's kind of a yin and yang background, which is pretty cool in its own way. So yeah, it's solid. You know what I'm saying? It's solid, it's stripy. And yeah, so I kind of a little bit reminds me of like a repurified, like blank slate of an American flag. I don't know. I'm just gonna put that out there. All right. So hope all is well. Hope all is well and is going well with you. Wow, things are just streaming through. It's just wild. I just like felt into that. I was like, because I wanted to say one thing and then one thing, quote unquote, led to another. You know what I'm saying? All right. So anyhow, let's go with highest, best, most accurate, most joyous, and most truthful yin card. Dun, 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 dun. All right, yin card is loud today. Yang card, please. Same intention. Same intention of a yang card. Whoa. I'm gonna go. Yeah, this is the yang card. Okay, yang card is quieter today. It's very interesting. It's the opposite of what they kind of are. Let me just put this. All right, so I'm liking this. Yeah, this is pretty cool. This is pretty nice. You know what I'm saying? Today's a day, at least for the feminine, you got to take it step by step, little by little, because I feel like talk about streaming. There's so much coming through, especially I feel like Spirit doesn't want me to say it, but I want to say it, so I'm just not going to say it because I always go with what Spirit wants. So long story short, the yin card for the yin card in general is saying it may not be easy, but it will be worth it. Now, this is the thing that you have to kind of breathe through today. You might have to just, do a whole bunch of praying, a whole bunch of getting yourself up to par, up to gear with things, like just kind of be able to overcome and overcome in a good way rather than overpower. You know what I'm saying? So you're little by little, you're having to just overcome just the challenges, even if they're little. Okay. I wish I brought my water here. I just kind of started, but oh my gosh, this came through yesterday. I think only for me. I mean, maybe and probably as a preview, on the interior, let your light shine. That's so wild. I love how I'm like always just like meant to be on here with that card coming through. So yeah, let your light shine is what you're feeling on the interior, but that's what I'm trying to say. In order to let your light shine, you have had to work your way up to it. Like you're just kind of like, I mean, listen, today's a Monday. Everybody thinks that Mondays are normally speedier, and they're not. They're literally quieter. They're yin energy. And Mondays would be the typical days that you would actually want off. Okay. Friday and towards the end of the week, Fridays are what works out to be way speedier. So I personally would always say Wednesdays to Saturday are the speedier type of days, right? But gradually, right? And then basically Sunday into Tuesday is when it's just chill. You know what I'm saying? So if I personally could call the shots on my life, I would personally like Sunday Sunday into Tuesday completely off. And I would actually work that in for basically the whole wide world if I could do that. You know what I'm saying? Because I've always felt 3 days a week should be off, because one is for relaxation, the other one is to get shit done, and the other one is basically to be with family. Like you do your family thing, do your whatever. You know what I'm saying? So 3 days would really do you really well to kind of feel very balanced in your life. And that's why I would ask, as a female, to have the Sunday through Tuesday off. And maybe as a masculine, you might want to have, let's say, if it's a slower down type of day, like maybe Wednesday, Thursday, Friday off. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so you would like the Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I would like the Monday, Tuesday, and Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So Wednesday to Friday for masculine, because it's like a slow down day, but then you'll be like on when it comes to Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. You know what I'm saying? So, but that's, I think, because here in the States, we kind of do the masculine thing. We follow the masculine thing, and it's just like, it's lovely. It will maybe work for a little bit, but everybody's getting real tired. You know what I'm saying? Like, they can't. So we got to really side with the truth here. You know what I'm saying? Or the spiritual truth of it all, of which is what I discovered as a feng shui consultant. So, a certified feng shui consultant. I was just thinking about that in this morning too, for some reason. I don't know why that was, but I was thinking about how somebody said that a long time ago, that it was like so hard to understand it. And if you're not from a spiritual standpoint, first of all, it needs to be meant to be naturally. But if you're not from a spiritual standpoint, like if you don't operate from that, it's going to be hard. That's really just what it is. But I don't, and I understand it. And I also trust it. I think that's also very much so what's coming through this morning also, is you don't have to understand it. You have to trust it. And so those two are basically yin and yang energies, not to say that they're opposites. They're literally like, if you are weak at one, be the other. If you are weak at, like, so if you don't understand something, then trust it. If you don't trust it, then you try to understand it. You get what I'm saying? It's just kind of like use it vice versa. I don't even know if that made any sense. If you don't trust it, try to understand it. Yeah, that kind of does make sense. Oh, look at my Mimi, girl! I'm gonna squeeze her because I love her so much. She's just trying to get cozied up to me, but there's only space there. You know what I need? I need, like, I'm not even kidding. I need an Adirondack chair, love seat style. Okay, this way we're always trying to fit into this Adirondack chair that I have. And I fucking love it, but, and Min loves it too, but it's like one at a time. Like, we always do one at a time, but not really. Cause when I'm reading a book or when I'm just chilling in it, then Min can come in my lap. But it's one of those things that we're like, if we're trying to do different things, it's like, it gets a little uncomfortable. But Minnie is super funny because she'll try it. Like, she'll be like, oh, that spot looks nice. And she'll try it, and she'll try to see if she can get comfy. But then after a while, like, if she sees that, like, she's just having to maneuver all too much to get comfy, she's like, fuck this, dude, I'm out. So anyhow, it may not be easy, but it will be worth it. Okay. So now Spirit wants me to mention so tomorrow, I've heard from the astrologers that tomorrow is the luckiest day of the year. Okay. And I just feel like whatever you can do in prep of that today would be really to your advantage for tomorrow. I think that's also maybe what's placing, like, energetically, it might even be placing a little bit more pressure. That came up like 2 days ago. It's like, the more you know, the more pressure you have on you. Like, it's weird. It's not even that you have, and maybe it is about you have more responsibility. But it really might come down to, it's not even more responsibility. It's like the pressure to do right with what you know what I'm saying? But also it's the pressure of, like, trying to work with the energies as best as possible. I think that's more so the case than the first example. So it's kind of like, but also I do sense, now that I'm like feeling into it, I do sense that the energy of tomorrow is definitely an energy that like is kind of, we're gradually building up to, you know? So you do kind of sense that you are, when I was saying overcome it, it's kind of like you are gradually kind of like walking up like this mountain, you know what I'm saying, to get to basically letting your light shine. Okay, so that maybe that's how I'm seeing this right now. No fucking way, this is crazy, because I'm looking down and the Yang card is challenges help you grow. You have to see this, Spirit is saying mountain. Like, that's crazy. I didn't even realize that that was the case. So basically, that's what I feel. It's like you, and that's what I feel like this kind of trinity is, which is like the yin card is, it may not be easy, but it will be worth it. And then as you do the not easy things, you get to the top to let your light shine. So there is some sort of success going on here. Like, I think as you stick to your disciplines that you do every day, even though it might get hard, you, like, Spirit sees what you're trying to accomplish. You know what I'm saying? And they're going to help you accomplish it with letting your light shine. All right. So challenges help you grow is the Yang card here, which could be the divine masculine card, but also on the other side, once you reach kind of like on the other side, it's kind of like letting your light shine on the interior of you once you get to the top will then empower you to basically like for the next chapter after you climb down the mountain. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, I feel like we're going through this circular thing. I don't know why I'm saying that, but like more so it's a circular thing, but triangularly. And I feel like it's a closeout of a cycle to then actually have a more open cycle, like a more like a new beginning of an open cycle. But the whole thing is, once you come down like off of the peak of, or once you come down to the bottom of the mountain, it's like you're going to be supplied with how to overcome more challenges that may come your way to help you grow. So what was I going to say? So it's kind of like there's an enlightenment once you reach the top that you're going to basically take to the bottom of the mountain to then continue like furthering your life, like or bring it with you throughout your life, or through the next chapter of life. I want to shuffle more cards for some reason. I'm like getting that, but it's not these, but men's on my leg. But I feel like that's the next step to take. All right, I'm going to be open to see if I were to shuffle the cards that I were trying to get, okay, in the tarot, okay. So in my mind's eye, I'm getting the Chariot is coming out. Chariot means a whole lot of, well, it's very interesting. Chariot is the Cancer card. Guess what Cancer looks like when you do the zodiac signs? Like, I forgot what they're called, but zodiac signs, like in their how do I want to say it? It's not hieroglyphics, but you know what I'm saying? Like when you do it in that version, it's the 6 and the 9, right? But also tomorrow is the 6 and the 9. So this is really interesting. Also, Cancer has a lot to do with emotions. Like you might have to kind of slowly climb the mountain, hit the peak, enjoy the success, but then also be prepared for like more challenges to come a little bit later. You know what I'm saying? But also with this enlightenment, you get to take it down to a whole nother level. By the way, also Cancer in the tarot card is being on your high horse. Like that's just what a Cancer kind of is like known to be, and it could be in a positive or a negative way, depending on how you see self-love. I see it as a positive, but some people might use it, even a Cancer could use it in a negative way if they don't know how to use it properly. You know what I'm saying? So it's not really up to other people's perceptions a lot of the time. But long story short, I am sensing that there is somebody coming down off of their horse, off of their high horse. That's why we're talking about because the mountain can also be a high horse that we're kind of essentially trying to describe, where it's like you get up on the horse, you have this kind of success, enlightenment. Also in the tarot, you get the Sun card, which is little baby on the horse. It's kind of like new beginnings. You know what I'm saying? And success and new beginnings and just kind of like just freshness. You know what I'm saying? So you get to hit that, and then you get off the horse at one point, which I think is pretty freaking normal. I don't know if people that's what I kind of am so confused about society. Okay, this is what gets me confused. Like, I understand that when you reach a pinnacle of something, you want to stay on the top for as long as possible, right? But life is very much so frequencies, right? So you're going to have to ride those frequencies out like a surfer or like a DJ or like, whatever, like whatever works with frequencies. So the whole thing is, it's like, but it doesn't mean, like, even if you were to think about music, like high frequency music can be just as good as a low frequency music, because they're all kind of high frequency anyway. Music is beautiful. Actually, music is a severe protection too. So the whole thing is, it's like, it's never bad to come off of your high horse, but so many people, especially when it comes to success, they grasp onto it. They don't want to let it go. Once they're there, and it's like, but there's like more to be had a little bit, like, especially when you're learning about like finances, for instance, or if you're trying to trust finances, like there's more to be had when you kind of even trek down to the bottom of that mountain, or get off the high horse, because then you can experience life, and life can give you a lot of answers just through the experience of it all. So it's very interesting how people are just very, like, they need, like, the need to be significant, like all the time, the need to be successful and kind of at the top all the time. Like, I understand it. It's great to do that. And I would be like, I would back that up so fast in terms of, like, once you get there, try to maintain it as best as you can. But just like stocks, for instance, right? Stocks do the same thing. It's like you invest, and you can invest at your pinnacle because you have the money to invest. So you're at some sort of a high, right? But then it's a long, like, all investment is long term. You have to understand that, like, at least from a healthy perspective, where you just leave it, right? You just leave it. You go by your I was going to say incognition, which is so weird. Like inner knowing, but also that was like such a weird, like, word to have created, incognition, but I meant intuition. So you go by your intuition, your instincts, as when to, take your money out. But at the same time, you have to let it go through its cycles. Like, ups and downs are going to be, that's just normal. You know what I'm saying? And so I think what I'm even trying to say is, a lot of people are emotional, and especially the Cancer vibe is very emotional. But emotional is not bad. Emotion means that you need to listen to your intuition because that's the high vibration of being emotional. And then the low vibration, quote unquote, low vibration, but still high vibration, is to, let's say, like, you can't handle let's say you can't handle emotions anymore and you start crying. It's still a good thing because of the fact that you are the word recycling wanted to come up before, and I think I'm going to use recycling for it now, for crying, is because that's literally what crying is. It like recycles, like you get rid of the toxins out of your system, and like you bring in better energy, right? Like better invisible energies, and you pray for that, and you ask for that, and you ask for it to be protected into those spaces. For when you do when you do get rid of the toxins out of your body. So the crying, society finds crying so like weird and like, oh my God, I don't know what to do. But it's like, it's you, sometimes there's nothing to do. You just have to let a person just like purge. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, and that's basically it. I was watching. All right, I'm not gonna say it, but I was watching a show. I wanted to go into it maybe later. That I was like, oh my God, this is so me. Where it's like, it's just so wild. But here's what I wanted to say earlier. All right, Spirit doesn't want me to say that either. I need a drink of water, like for real. I need to go get it. So I might have to get up and get it, but Min's on my leg. I wanna get some water. Oh, Butler. Oh, Butler. For these moments, I would love somebody to just pass it to me. Just pass it to me. Because listen, here's how I live. When there's a beautiful moment, I want it to last as long as possible. That's just it. Like, I'm not going to move. Like, I don't want, like, my dog is enjoying herself. She's just so sweet that she basically, like, I don't want to interrupt her sweetness. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's having a moment. Like, let her have a moment, you know? Okay. That was so weird. It was like a knock at the door, but it wasn't my door, but it sounded like my door. So weird. Anyhow, also the colors of that are coming through are red, white, and blue, which are believing colors, okay? But also very interesting because the Cancer time is 4th of July, right? 4th of July is around the time of the Cancer. It's like the one holiday that the Cancer sign falls under, or vice versa, however you say it properly. So it's very interesting because that's really been coming through a lot too. And it's funny because I think of a whole bunch of red, white, and blue kind of aspects to life. So you have the US, you have red, white, and blue. I'm going to just say it here. Red, white, and blue, adding the black is also, to me, it's the, how do I want to say it? It's the evil eye protection. Okay. Then you have, I don't know what just popped in, red, white, and blue. If you actually mix all those colors, it's a light purple. So the light purple essence, it means spirituality. It means, the third eye chakra. Actually, sometimes it's third eye, but sometimes it's crown chakra. So let's go with crown chakra. Okay. So it's knowing. It's like a knowledge thing. Which is weird, right? Because if you think about that color with the cancers would definitely resonate more with blue because it's emotion. And also, so it's like, yeah, take the light purple and add a hint of blue, right? Because that's where you get like maybe more of the darker purple. Then we're back to dark purple. But also maybe a different version of the dark purple. What else am I trying to say here? Oh, then I was thinking of France, and I was thinking of the former Yugoslavia, which was the red, white, and blue with a gold star in it. but also I was thinking red, white, and blue, how there's more red, white, and blue somewhere. Is it Russia? I can't think of it right now. Who else is red, white, and blue? Possibly Russia. I think so. I don't know why that's I like know things like this, and that's just not like I think it is. I think it's Russia. Anyhow, so those energies are definitely kind of involved, like in this moment of time. Oh, somebody just got extra comfortable. My little mofo. Anyhow, so yeah, challenges help you grow. So yeah, I am seeing on like a grand scale politically, that's what I'm getting, that there's like some challenges in the air. And that's just side note. So what you have to do is you have to stick your nose right into your own business, because you don't want to have more on your plate than you need to have, and you need to just trust the process of everything. That's exactly what came out to trust the process of everything, because you're not, sometimes you think it's one way, but it's another. Like, I don't know how, here's a good example. I was listening to a podcast where one girl was dating a few guys, she said, but not at the same time. Just, she said it kind of turned out to be like this. There was like two guys she was dating at one point, and they would mention like their exes when they were friends. Cause she said, I'm friends with all of my exes, which to me, don't ever fucking do that. It's stupid. Honestly, even though people are people, but it's energetically detach and disconnect. You know what I'm saying? In order to get better, like into your life. But long story short, she was saying she's friends with like all of her exes, and this is what you get. Okay, I'm gonna just say this bullshit is what you get when you're fucking friends with your exes. So they think they're quote unquote back to being friends, right? They're no longer dating each other. And through that period of not dating each other, after having dated one another, the 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 female realized that the talk between her and her exes, when they would like fling around like, oh yeah, I dated that girl, and we had, and like whatever, we had sex in the here or sex there or whatever. And then she'd be like, wait a second, when did you she pieced together like, when did you have sex with this person? And then they were like, oh my god, I have it not. And then they'd be like, oh, like so and so time, and then she would quietly have to realize that that's the time that she was with them. So essentially she found out that they had been cheating on her, and she was in a relationship with them, right? Like at that time. So the question at hand was it better to have known in the moment, or was it better to find out the way that she found out? And everybody was like, oh, hell yeah, it's better. The second part is better. But it sucks because at the same time, you're double stupid in that moment. Let me just tell you why. Double stupid because you decided to spend your time with people that weren't meant for you any longer, and you gave them extra life's time by hanging out with them. So that's double time stupid. And then because your lifetime is your lifetime, you could have been doing something else smarter. You know what I'm saying? Smarter or funner or fucking enjoying yourself, enjoying your life. Like, doesn't matter, but you're not giving your time and your energy and your wealth, right, over to these people who disrespected you a whole lot and a whole long time ago, right? So the whole thing is, so that's what I want to say is like, sometimes you don't need to know what's going on. You just have to trust what's going on. And that's how intuition works too, by the way. You actually essentially don't know for sure what's going on, but you can tell intuitively how the energies are feeling. You know what I'm saying? Now, if that same person was in tune with their intuition and their energies, which they should have been, because the sign that they are is very emotional, very in tune with vibes and things like that, but they just didn't want to, like, they wanted to ignore it. That's their prerogative. That's their choice, you know? But I personally would never choose to ignore my intuition. And I would be like, oh, hell no, this is just done. Like, you have to cut it off at one point where you can't just drag the stupid ass baggage behind you thinking like you need more friends. You don't need more friends. You need a clean life. You need an airy type of life. You need to breathe well. You know, you need to actually have a life that you stand with yourself, yourself, and you by yourself, even if it has to be. And you have to hang with yourself. And that's basically what it is. Like, you have to choose you, is what I'm trying to say. And so, and that's at all, and that's only if you actually fucking deserve it. If you don't deserve it, usually you do end up doing what that chick did, because she must have done something in her past before the guys even cheated on her. And that was kind of like maybe a negative, how do I want to say, like a negative karmic thing, to then have it all be karmic at the end of the day. Like, it's just like, but it's like you can detach from your negative karma and start over again. Like, you can do that. I mean, but the whole thing is you have to be real with yourself on, you know, the future is not going to be all, you know, all kind of clean cut and beautiful for you if you fucked up so much in the past. Now, what's so interesting is talking about, you know, but you can start anew, like in terms of, you know, you listen to those that have done their best to not try to fuck up their lives. They will be deserving of the most. You know what I'm saying? If they really are respectful of karma, understand how it works, energetically live an energetically and spiritual life, you will literally want to prolong that shit for as long as possible so that you can get the good karma. But I always say it's very interesting because you can be an angel from heaven on this earth in this life, but and that's essentially more good karma from your past lives if you are. But at the same time, you can never rest on your laurels so much because of the fact that, you know, there might be times where the challenges get really challenging for you because you've done, you know, a fucked up thing as a human being. And maybe not so fucked up, but you fucked up, right? Like, as a human being, you know, in your past lives. So the whole thing is, it's like, I always, and actually I'm like, what I just said there really kind of cleared up a lot for me. I'm not going to lie. Because I for a very long time, I was very scared that I was scared and I was waiting for the ball to drop at any point. You know what I'm saying? Which it essentially can. But if you're coasting on living a pretty good, normal, good life, like, and you're doing all that you can, not all that you can, but you're doing all that you can when you can muster up the energy to do it. To be, and not when you can muster up your energy to be, I'm not saying that. I'm actually saying you're doing all that you can to sustain that, but also this is why you muster up your energy. That's exactly how I want to say it. It's for the better of it all. Then you essentially have nothing to worry about, because of the fact that like you don't, like, I feel like humanly, like you're gonna get the lessons, which also applies to what I was trying to say before as the angel story. But at the same time, doesn't mean that the ball is going to drop, doesn't mean that you're going to not pass. You know what I'm saying? Doesn't mean that you're going to do bad, you know? Another thing that came up, so like you can release and let go of just like chilling, like just super chill, like be chill. There's another thing that came up earlier around that too. Let me just try to see if I can like think of it. It was essentially going back to what I was saying with the good karma and the angel story, but it wasn't that. It was around the good karma. It's that what was I saying? If you try to sustain your good life, you're gonna do it. The only negative, for instance, that would come out of it is basically having to learn a lesson in this life to basically further yourself in this life and also in your next lives. You know what I'm saying? If you're going to recycle back around, right? Because I was using the recycle mode, but then I was also using the transformation, which is the mountain, this triangle. Whoa. That was, oh my God, that was so much. That was too much. That was too much. Whatever that was, I think I like choked on my own spit. That was like I inhaled like saliva. Oh, that was so weird. Sorry about that. So long story short, yeah, I think I'm gonna leave it here because I'm not gonna get the cards. Just know that you're go with ease today. So it may not be easy, but just go with ease. But also know that it will be worth it when you go with ease. Okay. So just do what you got to do, slow and steady. Just slow and steady it up. You know what I'm saying? Even when you walk up a mountain, slow and steady it up. You might not have the conditioning. You might not have the 1-2 step to it. That you might not even be happy to climb this mountain, but just go through the motions of it, right? Like just do what you have to do. Also, it's funny because I always put my commentary on slow mode, and that's popping out at me today. Just go slow, and females are going to go ever so slowly at what they need to do because it's just the natural pace of it. Like I've observed it. It's the natural pace of it all. So yeah, and so you'll reach the pinnacle, which is let your light shine. Also, major success in the majority of things that you do in terms of even career is what I'm sensing. And then it says the third one, which could be even maybe towards the night, challenges help you grow. So just do the challenging things that maybe you've been putting off because, you know, you don't know why. You just have to whatever. But anything that kind of expands you and kind of gives you the growing pains, just if they intuitively come to you today, just do that. If they instinctually come to you today, just do that. It'll help you light. It'll help you light your shine and also let your light shine in a future pinnacle again, is what I'm getting. All right. So long story short, I don't know where my mind went there. I was talking about the recycling of things, but I can't really grasp it back. So just believe that just believe and trust and try to understand. But if you can't understand, because not a lot of us can get to that capacity of understanding what's going on, even readers like me, like a lot of the time I don't know if I even seek to understand, but sometimes I do, even through the cards. But even us readers are humans at the end of the day, and we're not allowed to kind of understand things until they happen or until they're processed. But through and through, you need to keep believing in your ruler of the universe, in the ruler of the universe. You need to keep trusting and understanding as best as possible. Understanding falls under empathy. Those that can't understand, they need to just kind of trust. And those that have trusted like far too long now need some understanding of things, right? Like, so that's why when they say communication is key, communication, I think, touches upon both of them at the same time, which is, again, the triangle, right? You have communication up at the top, then you have trust and understanding at the bottom foundationally. And, whichever way you turn it around, it doesn't matter, because of the fact that, you know, as they say, like, if there's no trust, you can't have either of those things, right? So, and which is true. Without trust, there's really nothing there. So you need to walk the fuck away. And so when somebody does say that they've been friends with their exes, to me, that's like a major red flag, because A, you have trouble letting go. B, you have trouble being alone. C, you're not strong enough. D, I mean, there's a list that goes on and on. You can't make choices for yourself all that easy. And E, like energetically, talk about E being energetic, or E, E being the letter that starts, the word energy. Energetically, you need to cut yourself off from it, because obviously if they're your ex for a certain reason, it didn't work out. You don't need to hang around to figure out why the fuck doubly so have they become your ex. Like, you don't need to do that. Like, that's just kind of crazy. Like, it's crazy, because it's like you can't give yourself your own closure. You know what I'm saying? You yourself and you should be your best friend to you. That's why I say stand up for yourself only if you've done the right thing. Actually, that was an affirmation today. I'm in the right place at the right time doing the right thing. And that is a trifecta too. So it's a beautiful thing. If you are always consistently believing and trusting that you are at the right place at the right time doing the right thing, you have nothing to worry about any longer. And tomorrow, by the way, this is what I wanted to add. Tomorrow is the luckiest day of the year, especially in the sign of Cancer, which means 4 cancers. So wherever Cancer lands in your in your birth chart, that's kind of like the house it's going to light up, but also that's where it's going to light up within yourself, in your own makeup of the zodiac signs. So the whole thing here is, if you have a lot of Cancer in your chart, or you are a Cancer, you're going to be feeling it the most. And also, where you have been at the right time, doing the, right time, right place, right moment, doing the right thing, whatever I said there before, if you have been doing that, then you get to really enjoy tomorrow for what the energy is. I would also try to manifest like today into tomorrow, just because that is a very big deal. And especially when it comes to home and real estate, Spirit is telling me home and real estate is like a really, that touches upon Cancer topics. So, home, real estate, family, anything cozy, anything kind of cutesy, is anything baby, like that's a Cancer thing, it's like, it just is, snuggly, anything like that you want to kind of manifest is really beautiful. Also, I think Cancers, I'm going to tell you something right now, Cancers and people with heavy Cancer in their chart, and especially if you even came from a Cancer's cooch, dude, that's the CC right there, the double CC, Cancer's cooch. It's like, that sounds like a Cancer's cooch cove. That's what I feel like. It's the triple C. Anyhow, which then can lead to courageousness, curiosity, what else? Chance, and what else? There's another, and chance, and what's the one that's like decision making? Change, and chance, change. I don't know. I can't remember the third one. There's a third one there. That's the original triple C word, like triple C words of 3 C's or something, or like the 3 C words. I can't think of it. Chance, change. I want to say climate change, but no. So like essentially, essentially that's what you want to be able to. This is what I want to say, is that if you have Cancer in your chart, or you are a Cancer and you have heavy Cancer in your chart, you need to be. And this is specifically also mainly for Cancers and of themselves. They need to manifest some big deal like relationships, because people don't talk about it, but cancers, since they can be very like loving, and they're always like snuggly cute, like cozy with themselves, like they're just like okay in their own self-love, you know what I'm saying, that they're the ones that usually don't kind of have the best of luck in relationships, because they're their own protector, but also they know what they need. You know what I'm saying? And not everybody can give you that, you know? Um, so it's kind of like, well, what else do you need if you're on your if you are your own protector, if you are you're the only, you know, the one that gives yourself love, it's like it doesn't mean that and I want to say we, because I have like heavy cancer in my chart too. It doesn't mean that we don't deserve love, because we just are, how do I want to say it, independent in our own way when it comes to love. But it means that I don't even know how to solve it, to be honest. It's like more so just like try to manifest for tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Try to manifest today for tomorrow, in terms of the day. Oh, my baby Sheba. In terms of the day that, in terms of the energy that it is. You know what I'm saying? You want to utilize it. So listen. Oh my goodness. Okay. Okay. So anyhow, I gotta go. I gotta go get a drink. I gotta go maybe set up better for tomorrow. Also, I feel like around the house, if like you also might want to just manifest stuff around the house, inside the house, your your lifestyle within the house. Like if like you've been asking for like a work from home job, like tomorrow's the day to manifest it, to or to receive it. But today's the day to also make sure that you implement, you know, the proactive actions that you need to take in order to receive it. You know what I'm saying? So anyhow, thank you guys for allowing me to let my light shine with you whenever I come on here. I really appreciate it. And go let your light shine wherever it needs to shine. And we'll talk soon. Ciao. What I wanted to say was, ciao, motherfuckers. Anyhow, bye.